Colleagues, good afternoon. My name is Mkhuleko Hlengwa, the National Spokesperson of the IFP, and today we have got the National Chairperson of the IFP, Ubaba MP Gwala, who is also the Chief Whip of the KZN Legislature. And then on the far end is Ubaba Nhlanhla Msimango, the Caucus Chairperson of the IFP in the KZN Legislature and also a member of the NEC. We would like to apologize for the delayed start, but I think it's more on your side than on ours. It so happened that today, on almost similar matters, parties were having briefings, and we thought it only fair to wait for all the colleagues. And I think it's to the benefit of the broader public for us to have waited. But the only reason why we're not starting on time is because of that other press briefing. So good afternoon and welcome. We are joined by Mrs. Fanele Mhlongo, who is our National Communications Officer here at the IFP. We've got a statement that we would like to present. The National Chair will table it on behalf of the NEC, and then we will field the questions after that. But for what it's worth, it's good to see all of you colleagues, and Happy New Year. Happy 2026. I think we'll be seeing a lot more of each other as we traverse the length and breadth of the country, campaigning for the local government elections, and we want to wish you well as well in those commutes, to be safe on the roads. And Ndlovu, may I now hand over to you, National Chair, to take us through the statement.
Thank you very much, National Spokesperson, my colleague Sonisho Msimango, our caucus chair in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, representing the IFP and all the media houses. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for this press briefing, compliment of the new year. We have convened this media briefing to provide clarity on recent development in KwaZulu-Natal government of provincial unity, and to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to stability, accountability, and service to the people of this province. At the outset, we wish to congratulate the matric class of 2025, teachers and parents, for producing results which are a national pride, and specifically extend further congratulations to KwaZulu-Natal and its GPU administration for leading KZN back to its former education glory. The IFP remains fully committed to the government of provincial unity in KwaZulu-Natal. We entered this arrangement in good faith, not for positions or political expediency, but because the people of this province deserve a government that puts cooperation above conflict and delivery above division. At a time when communities are confronted by unemployment, failing infrastructure, crime, and deteriorating public services, political instability is a luxury of our province simply cannot afford. We are aware of speculation and commentary suggesting uncertainty with the GPU, including claims about the possible withdrawal of partners. Let us be clear. Such narratives are misinformed, misguided, and risk undermining public confidence in a government that is working to stabilize institutions and restore credibility. The IFP will not be party to political gamesmanship that distract from the urgent task of rebuilding KwaZulu-Natal. Our approach within the GPU has been principled and constructive. We have consistently advocated for clean governance, ethical leadership, and decisive action against corruption and maladministration. We have insisted that every partner to this arrangement must be charged not by rhetoric, but by performance, integrity, and their commitment to improving the lives of ordinary citizens. We are committed to servant leadership, to serve all the people of KZN, working with and for the betterment of all the people. Accordingly, we rejected the disparate MKP effort of a motion of no confidence in KZN Premier Thami Ntuli. This motion and its accompanying violence and threats of instability and gender-based violence have no place in KZN. South Africa or elsewhere or anywhere else in the world, the looters and enablers of state capture of yesteryear cannot be trusted as the people's messiahs of today. The IFP reiterates its full support for Premier Thami Ntuli and the government of provincial unity he leads. KZN, under his leadership, is a better and progressive province today than it was yesterday. As this stands today in KZN, the economy is recovering and creating jobs, investment is improving, municipalities are being turned around and stabilized, service delivery is being accelerated, crime is down and criminals are being pursued, doctors and social workers are being employed, food security is being accelerated, sports, arts and culture are driving social cohesion, infrastructure development is an apex priority. The insinuation, therefore, that Premier Ntuli and the GPU are failing is not supported by fact and reality. The people of KwaZulu-Natal have a government that they can be proud of because since assuming office, it has been a government at work. The IFP believes that cooperation across political lines is not a weakness of democracy, but one of its greatest strengths. The government of provincial unity represents an opportunity to demonstrate that diverse political traditions can work together in the public interest, guided by the Constitution, accountability to the legislature and responsiveness to communities. We also want to emphasize that our participation in the GPU is rooted in tangible outcomes. Stability must translate into improved service delivery, wherein we have functioning hospitals and clinics, safer communities, reliable transport and infrastructure, clean governance in municipalities, and economic recovery that creates jobs. Where there are shortcomings, we'll raise them honestly and work to correct them. Where progress is made, we'll defend it. In recent weeks, there has been speculation about the continued participation of the NFP in the GPU. For the record, we have not been officially informed of their decision to pull out of the GPU. And in light of the unfolding internal processes, including disciplinary matters, will await the outcomes. However, the following must be stressed. One, the GPU arrangement does not extend to local government. Two, The MEC of Social Development in KwaZulu-Natal has been and continues to be an integral part of the GPU's accelerated service delivery agenda. The IFP NEC has directed that our GPU partners, including the NFP, must be engaged to ensure stability, good governance, and service delivery in KZN. And accordingly, these engagements by the IFP are therefore currently underway. Specifically, we will engage the NFP to understand better their areas of concern and difference in order to find lasting solutions. This is a responsibility we bear as the leading party in the GPU arrangement. It remains our position that the NFP is fairly and adequately represented in the GPU in a senior and influential deployment of social development where it can and must contribute to the collective improvement of the lives of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. The IFP calls on all partners in the GPU to recommit themselves to the founding principles of this arrangement of mutual respect, transparency, and a shared responsibility to govern in the interest of all the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Differences will arise in any coalition or unity government, but they must be resolved through dialogue, discipline, and adherence to agreed processes, and not through public posturing or destabilization, which plays into the hands of the MKP, which does not have the interest of the people of KwaZulu-Natal at heart. Our message to the people of KwaZulu-Natal is simple. The IFP remains focused on building a stable, ethical, and effective provincial government. We'll continue to act as a voice of reason, integrity, and accountability within the GPU, and will not lose sight of the mandate entrusted to us by the electorate. KwaZulu-Natal deserves leadership that works together, governs responsibly, and delivers consistently. That is the commitment of the Inkatha Freedom Party as we lead the government of provincial unity. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable National Chairperson. So, colleagues, that's the long and short of our position as the party on all matters related to the government of provincial unity and KwaZulu-Natal. We will now take questions. Saspa, will you facilitate questions?
Good afternoon, colleagues. Can we take questions? Each of us who will be asking the question can introduce yourself as well as the media house that you are representing. Then we will take a batch of 5 questions and we will take the next one. We'll start with you, welcome. You'll be number 1, number 2. Number 2, Jay, number 3, Uvelim. Number 4 will be Clive. Then number 5 will be
Angibonga ngibingelela igama lami welcome wantombe lesibongo ngisuka emsazweni Nongoma FM. Ngisacela ukubuza nje nanjengoba uhlale kuveza ngokusobathi nizoxoxa neNFP. iNFP iveza ukuthi iIFP iphakeme kakhulu enye izinto ebenza abaphume kwiGPU ethi niphakeme kakhulu bebelokhu benihuba benilandela beyimidlwane yenu becethe nihlangane nithi nibhizi ningafuni futhi ukuhlangana nabo batho kwenza futhi okunye kwacaswa kakhulu ukuthi nangenkathi kuqala ingxoxo ze-GPU nathumela iDA yafika azokhuluma lo neANC nase niza kamuva senithi nje siyawuthatha uPrime cela ukubheka ukuthi awekho izo lokho abakusho ukuthi bebezama ukulandela becela imihlangano bebika inkinga ningakwazi ukuhlangana nabo. Ngiyabonga.
Umenzi Jele from Ilanga newspaper. Ngicela ukubuza, in what way are you going to engage the NFP? Are you going to have a series of meetings? Way forward, nama engagement akhona, ngiyabonga.
Ngiyabonga. Clive Ndlovu from A Witness. First question is in terms of the statement by the national chairperson. It seems that the IFP makes a distinction between the local government unity and the GPU, and doesn't want the two to be conflated. But if you can recall, around December, in the Mkhanyakude district, the IFP made some concessions to the ANC by handing it the mayoral position. So won't there be any consistency if the IFP were to give in to the NFP demands? Also, the second question is around the negotiations, the talks that will be happening between the IFP and the GPU partners. If you look at the GNU, there are currently some moves to expand the membership in order to bring about some degree of stability in the GPU. Is that thinking, maybe is the IFP thinking alongside similar, of taking similar steps? Thanks.
Thank you so much. Ikana kuvela ngaphungula mqhamuka kwi-independent media. Ngikucheka but okunye umahlobo usekubuziwe because le qembu i-NFP belokhu inenkinga ukuthi isho kanjalo ukuthi nje sithi kwaqala i-GPU umhlangano bekucela kade ningayinikezi kodwa ke lona ngoba lo mbuzo vele usuphenduleni. Okunye abakushoyo ukuthi ngesikhathi kuxoxwa kwavela ukuthi nizobe nixoxa nendaba yomasipala. So ngoba it was tied to i-GPU agreement. So yilo esifuna ukuthola ukuthi is it true ukuthi khona lapho nafika khona indaba yomasipala noma mhlawumbe sebe beyifaka nje ngeyuthi indaba yalena so yilo kuphela mhlawumbe umuntu azokubheka nje ngamanje. Thanks.
Greetings. It's Ntatla Mabasom from Eyewitness News, Radio 702. Seemingly, as you say, that you did not receive any sort of communication from the NFP. There seems to be a conflict of interest there in as far as the NEC and the PEC is concerned, and I'm saying this because it seems as though the provincial chairperson, also the MEC for Social Development, holds a different stance from the party president, Ivan Barnes. Have you, as GPU partners with the NFP at a provincial level, been able to engage her, to talk to her? What is her stance, and as far as GPU is concerned, do you sense this sort of conflicts there? Secondly, the whip of the provincial legislature. The Speaker of the legislature, Ms. Nantembeko Boyce, was physically assaulted in Parliament. We saw for the first time members of the public order police rushing into the chamber. We've seen for the first time since the legislature existed, members of the police security services jumping inside the chamber to protect their protectees. What action have you taken thus far with the assault of the Speaker? You speak of GPV. Has there been any consequence management in this regard? Thank you very much.
National Chief, I may through you. I just want to, for the purposes of context, because of the colleagues here, I was part of the negotiating team, and then the national chair will take us through, because I think we need to start at the beginning. When the negotiations were held for the establishment of the government of KwaZulu-Natal, the IFP had adopted an outlook that we would engage with other parties and we would concede to meetings with other parties who wanted to talk to us. And that process was running parallel to a national process and running parallel to other political parties having their own engagements. And therefore, in the course of the engagements, we ultimately came together. So it would not have arisen, one, that we would have met with a party, or rather to say, if we met with you last, then we considered you last. It was a matter of availabilities, it was a matter of also understanding that Gauteng was also in play here. So 3 governments were being negotiated: the national government, the provincial government of KwaZulu-Natal, and the provincial government of Gauteng. Now, in this broader scheme of things, the NFP was only a factor in KwaZulu-Natal. But eventually we then met with them, as we did with the other parties, and the broader meeting, of course, which took place for us to meet. So that context is important, that from inception they were part and parcel of the journey. It will also be recalled that the MKP had made an overture to meet with the IFP. And ironically, I was the one who waited when they didn't pitch, and waited hours on end for the MK delegation to arrive, and they never did. Waiting so that when they finally would have honored the commitment, I would then round robin the IFP team, which was led by the Deputy President, to then reconvene here for that meeting. So I don't think there's any accuracy to the suggestion or the allegation that we had not taken them seriously. We did, and we engaged with them. I think it would also be fair to say, as I say, they were only a factor in KwaZulu-Natal because they do not have representation in Gauteng, nor do they have representation in the National Assembly. But that said, in the negotiations, it was brought up that we should find a way to invoke Section 91(3)(c) of the Constitution, wherein the President of the Republic could be able to fetch somebody from outside of Parliament and make them a minister. That's the extent of the negotiations that we had, that the NFP presented to us, to say because they don't have a seat in the National Assembly, can we not ask the President of the Republic to make use of that provision so that they could be in government? We listened to it, but it was not possible for it to be done under the circumstances of the kind of government we were putting together. Eventually, the NFP got a senior position in the government of Provincial Unity, Social Development. I can tell you now from my Scopa days, social development is not a small department, because we did not consider the question of size when political parties were being allocated positions, but it was to ensure a representation that was fair and for everybody to be able to play a meaningful role. And that is what we have done in KwaZulu-Natal. But we can't expand the government further. The Constitution is clear. There can only be 10 MECs. We can't appoint another MEC from the NFP. They only have 1 seat. But fairly so, we have not considered the question of size. And because for us it would be the wrong approach to constitute a government on that basis, to juniorize another partner. We treat the NFP as equals. That is the context of how far we have walked. It can't therefore be said we are not spagemi as kolumne NFP. How? When we are engaging with the provincial leader, because when the governments were then formed here in KwaZulu-Natal, the arrangement was that The provincial leadership would therefore then carry on with GPU matters. We have a provincial team here in KwaZulu-Natal. The ANC has got a provincial team, the DA has got a provincial team. The NFP, we engage with them provincially. It does not arise, rightly or wrongly, that we need to engage with the national leadership of the NFP. As a matter of due principle of how we have constituted the government. If they want an engagement, our doors are open. We've got no problem. If the NEC of the NFP says they want to talk to us, then they can. It's not a problem. But the arrangement as constructed and agreed upon was that after the constitution of government, the provinces would then handle the matters. But it has escalated to the extent which it has. The last point that I want to make as a background to this, the matter of Zululand was raised in the meetings when we were constituting a national chair, the provincial government. It was raised. And we were clear then, as we are clear now, the GPU arrangement does not extend to local government. It doesn't. That is why when the former mayor of Zululand, Reverend Thulasizwe Mthethwa, was sworn in as an MPL and subsequently as an MEC, we replaced him in Zululand with Mayor Mkhonyovu Khumalo, because we had created a vacancy and that vacancy was filled by an IFP leader. If the arrangement they suggest were in play, that should not have happened. It should tell you it was never agreed to. It has never been agreed to. Now, on Umkhanyakude, the arrangement of Umkhanyakude is peculiar in this context. There has been pending court action on this matter for the longest of time, on the question of Umkhanyakude. And in the NEC's wisdom, it finally agreed that it would be best to allow the court decisions that arrangement, as it was previously before we upset it, should remain, so that we could be able to ultimately arrive at a conclusion in a court of law, because the matter is already there. There's, I think, 2 if not 3 court judgments on that Mkhanyabhuda matter. So it was not an extension of the GP. We had the speculation to why what. No, it was never. It was a legal consideration to the matters which are precedent setting for us and local government specifically, which would rather we learn from them before we take matters forward. So the two must not be conflated. There is no Mkhanyabhuda GPU arrangement. It is a different set of circumstances which was at play in Mkhanyabhuda, which will require the parties. You see, that's why we spoke to the ANC and not other parties, because it was not a GPU matter. Because khona ukugebengana okwenzeke eMkhanyakude kwamasithi, and it's regularizable so that it does not happen again. It's and I think we've explained this matter ad nauseam, what happened in Umkhanyakude. There was a theft of seats there, arising out of Umtubatuba. For the second time, any rational thinking person would know that the IFP can't be governing Umtubatuba, Big Five Hlabisa, Jozini, Umhlabya Lingana, and not the district. I mean, if you're objectively thinking, but if you are narrowly political and wanting to be an agent of assumptions, then you'll arrive at another. But just think about that logic for a moment. But we respected the court matters. So I thought I should just clear the woods in that context here, because we were part of the negotiating team, and what I've narrated to you is what happened. Killer. So I thought if National Chat, you could continue then, having just dealt with how we arrived at this kind of arrangement, because I think there's matters.
No, I think the national spokesperson can also cover other questions, but with regard to the issue related to the disruption in the precinct of the legislature, the reason why the police came in was the reason that there were wrong people that were found inside the legislature, which were crept in by the MK. So then there were people who were not members of the legislature inside. That's why then the police has to intervene. But the matter is still in the hands of both the office of the Speaker as well as the office of the Provincial Commissioner of Police, who are investigating, because I have to go through the video and everything what is actually took place in the legislature. So it's a process which we cannot give you full answer right now. Thank you.
I think the last question, I think there's an issue around in what way or form will we meet with the NFP. Well, we will obviously now, as we say in the statement, have to consider the internal processes that are at play within the NFP as things stand now, right? Which are not our matters. They are unrolling processes, there's disciplinary matters. At a point where we believe that it is conducive to meet, one, we will meet. Secondly, we have a responsibility as the leading party in the GNU to ensure that there's stability in government, that the MEC must be able to continue her functions and responsibilities, because party political disciplinary matters are not automatic disciplinary matters of government. So we are saddled with a situation where there's a disciplinary matter around the MEC at the political party level, but she remains in office. And it is our expectation that she must continue performing her roles, duties, and functions, so that we don't bring governance to a halt, particularly in a crucial area such as social development, which amongst others must deal with key questions of gender-based violence. And as we see now, the MKP is quite hell-bent on driving an agenda of gender-based violence in this province with the kind of behavior that we saw. Because leaders are the mirror upon which society looks at itself. And if they resort to violence, people will assume that the violence is a response. So she's got a mammoth task of work that she has to do. But we've got no problem either meeting with the PEC of the NFP or the NEC of the NFP and engage, as in the statement the national chair indicates, that we will have to understand that there are issues, there are differences, and find lasting solutions, because we have not arrived at a point where we can say the government of KwaZulu-Natal has failed. We don't share in that assessment. We believe that Premier Ntuli and his team are doing a good job, and I think the national chair at a high level at bullet point was trying to just point to some of the salient achievements that are there. So as far as we are concerned, the argument doesn't arise that the government has failed. Because also remember that if the NFP says the government has failed, should basibala phakathi lapho nabo, because they are part of the government. So we need to understand this failure that they are speaking about, because the only issue here, as far as we are concerned, is an MKP which must perform its role as the opposition. And so, because they've got nothing else to do, they're not in government, they've got no service delivery that they are driving, they've got absolutely nothing other than having to oppose. And our only warning to our GPU partners, don't fall into the trap of people whose only job is to oppose, because ours is to deliver to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. So, because nobody campaigns, quite frankly, to be in the opposition benches. Nobody. There's not one manifesto that you'll find anywhere. When someone will say, when I'm in the opposition, we all campaign to be in government. That's why we formed the government. Now, to the NFP, don't when you are in government and you have an opportunity to showcase your capabilities, fall into the traps of people who want to do what you are doing. So that's why the NFP must be engaged to a moment of sobriety about this whole matter and stability for the province. And that's why we're taking on the responsibility of a constructive engagement with the NFP and all our GPU partners. The Premier continues to engage with them to make sure that we are all on the same hymn sheet. We expect a State of the Province address. We expect budget processes to roll out because service delivery must unfold. That's the alpha and omega of what must happen. But the MKP, yes, of course, it's their job. I'd be surprised if they didn't oppose. That's their job. Currently, that's their job. And they must not fail at their job, just like we must not fail at our job of government. That's it.
Colleagues will be taking more questions, and my colleague Dara will assist me with the roving mic. I will start with Ulele, then Uja will be number 2, Osimpiwe will be number 3. Clive has a follow-up question.
I'm not sure if my question was answered on the possibility of expanding the
You can't expand the GPU. How do you expand the GPU? The Constitution provides for 10 MEC seats. The only province that has not taken up its full 10 complement is the Northern Cape. But it's very clear, you've got a premier in 10 MECs. So it's not like national where the president can appoint. Here it's prescribed. Right? But as you would have heard today, the president of the IFP has indicated that we also do not have a problem engaging with the EFF in KwaZulu-Natal to be able to understand ukuthi bona sebengena kanjani ke kulo mshungu of the MKP and its instability agenda. We've got no problem engaging the EFF because we're working with the EFF. Amongst others, Nomkhanya Nongoma. So that is why it will be easy for us to engage with the EFF because we are working with them as we speak now. And we have worked with them previously. But also I think we better understand Tina, the EFF, which there's always something, right? And we want to move closer to it. We believe we can have a constructive engagement with the EFF, precisely because as things stand now, we are working with them in Umkhanyabote, we are working with them in Nongoma, and in the city of Johannesburg, where they have MMCs and we have MMC. So it would not be a strange thing for us to engage with when we are able to have this kind of, and we'll engage with them and see what those engagements bring about.
Give Ulele an opportunity to ask a question.
Okay. Silesio Ndlovu from Newsroom Africa. Mine is on the relationship between the NFP and the IFP. In plain terms, how would you define the relationship between the two parties? Some people state that it's fractured or in tatters, and if you do define it that way, can it still be salvaged? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Sipo Chak from Daily News. I just wanted to find out from you guys if all fails in terms of the IFP, if it has hinted earlier on that it will pull out of the GPU. If it does pull out of the GPU, are you as the organization willing to reopen the negotiation with the MKP and formulate a government with them. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Simpiwe Makanya and I work for the public broadcaster.
You're very good.
Mine is just perhaps to summarize, I think, the points that have been canvassed, I think, by my colleagues. As the leaders of this government of provincial unity, how concerned are you about the current state of affairs, which speaks to a great deal of uncertainty? You know, residents of KwaZulu-Natal wake up today, they are being told this could happen, tomorrow something else could happen. But as the leaders now of this GPU, how concerned are you with what is unfolding within the GPU? Thank you.
And colleagues, we only had 3 questions for this round, so I will allow the leadership to respond to the 3 questions.
No, you can cover.
All right, let me start with the relationship. I've never been married, but I've been told that a coalition or a unity government is like a marriage. There's good days and bad days. We remain committed as the IFP to seeing this GPU run its course to 2029. And that is why in the statement, the national chairperson puts it very plainly that we will engage with our GPU partners. It would be peculiar if there were no differences, because we are different political parties. The commitment must be our ability to find each other. And ours is to try and understand specifically what the NFP problem is, so we can resolve it if it is at a government level. However, we must also concede to the fact that there is a reality we can't ignore of internal challenges within the NFP itself and processes, and hence we say we will have to await the outcomes of those processes so that we can engage a stable NFP. So that is broadly the issue for us. But we remain confident that we are in a strong position to keep this GPU together and intact, and to ensure that it delivers for the people of KwaZulu-Natal, as it has delivered. I think what is happening is counter the accusation that it's not delivering. KwaZulu-Natal topped the matric results of 2025. You can't achieve that if there is no work being put in collectively by the provincial government across the ecosystem to make sure that we create a conducive and enabling environment for teaching and learning. When was the last time KwaZulu-Natal was there? So that's why we say the notion that we are failing falls flat on its face when you look at the track record of the past 20 months of where we have been as a province. That's number one. So we believe that this is normal. I think we must this is normal within coalition unity governments. Differences are normal. We must not shy away from them and think it's hunky-dory. No, it's normal. What is happening is perfectly normal. And we will sort it out. We will resolve it. That's why we're not jumping up and down, unsettled. We are scanning the ecosystem, understanding what is going on, so we can be able to engage correctly. If all fails, Mr. Jack, we're not going to fail. Because failure is not an option. Because the risks for the province of KwaZulu-Natal are too grave and too huge to allow this province to be governed by the MK Party. We will be reversing the gains that we have made since we started as this government of provincial unity. We will be entrenching a reality of corruption, because we must look at the track record of the characters within and that ecosystem of the MKP. We are not going to fail. This government is not going to fail. And so we're not planning for failure. Our interventions are aimed at ensuring that we protect KwaZulu-Natal. Ziphi ingane zabantu eziswe e-Ukraine? Must we now sanction a state-authorized kidnapping of people sent as mercenaries to go and fight wars in Ukraine and Russia? Is that what we will be saying to the people of KwaZulu-Natal? Quite frankly, what should really be happening is that the MKP must be focusing itself on returning those children, those young men that have been sent to Russia to go and fight a war that they don't know anything about. Why are we not dealing with that human cost? That human cost. Why are we not interrogating that? Because for me, it's an indicator of the direction in which this province will be taken. When people storm a legislature in the manner that they did and attack a speaker of a legislature on the floor of the House, what others in politics call the Holy of Holies, and they have sanctioned war and violence in Parliament, and you would believe that those people are fit to govern. Because this is a fundamental risk for all of us in this room and well beyond the borders of this province, if we are going to have a situation of those characters. And lastly is to say, how many premiers would we have had since 2024? What kind of stability would we have here in this program? I don't know how many SGs have been there. I don't know how many treasurer generals have been there. Everything else changes except the party leader. It tells you of the centrality of what is happening, of who and what it is about. Do we want that kind of instability in the province? Premier today, premier tomorrow. Would the work of government continue? Many people assume that the government we have now would not arrive at this point, or rather survive as long as it has. It has defied all those odds. We are going to define all these odds. So, and lastly, Mnguni, of course, we have to look at what is going on broadly and objectively in order for us to respond correctly to what is happening. So we are intervening and engaging precisely because there is a need to do so. And for us to be able to provide stability and assurance. I think the National Chair was very clear, I think it's in his concluding remarks, where he's giving an assurance to the people of KwaZulu-Natal that they shouldn't be concerned that the work of government will come to a halt. Because despite all this pity that has been sanctioned by those who don't want this province to progress, the work of government has continued. Services have continued to be delivered. Interventions, responses to disasters have been at play. Investment is on the increase. We are creating. So despite all of this, I think the assurance we are giving to the people of KwaZulu-Natal is leave this pity to us. And you focus on going about your daily livelihoods and trust us to be able to ensure government works and that government will deliver. That's the commitment we are making. Because this is being done precisely because it must agitate people, which are koninkinga and so on. No. I think maybe, let me put it differently, Kilani was probably there and I was much young. The ability of the IFP and the ANC to be able to work together after the kind of history that we have should tell you of how far we are prepared to go to provide stability and peace in this province. And reject any notion which is anchored in violence and in unconstitutional behavior. Because I think there's also a responsibility. I'm sorry I digress, but I think it's key. Nobody won elections in 2024 with an outright majority in KwaZulu-Natal. Nobody. Basic coalition politics 101 tells you that the people who are able to coalesce themselves sufficiently enough beyond 50+1 form a government. There is no rule that says getting the most votes automatically means you must form government. What would be the point of having elections then? Or what would be the point of pushing people below 50% and then hand over back to them again? Nobody won in this province. All this manga business, if you won, why aren't you in government? But a unity government has been formed and it meets the threshold of 50+1. That's democracy, that's constitutional. If it was unlawful, I can bet my last dollar the MKP would have filed papers in court. They've not filed them because the government is lawful. And their theatrics are allowed. They must continue with their theatrics of motion of we'll defeat the next one. They can bring as many as they want. Whilst they are busy with disruptions, we'll be busy with service delivery. Thank you, colleagues. I'm sorry to digress on some of the issues, but I was trying to put them in a particular context.
Colleagues, do you still have more questions of clarity? I think that was clear. I will give an opportunity to colleagues who will need isiZulu. Maybe they can just ask questions so that Ubaba Mpephethu will be specific in responding.
Which areas would you like summarized, and then we'll capture that?
Conservative.
Colleagues, we won't be long, please. Let's not leave. Let's allow them to get to Simboli, then we will leave shortly.
Lo mbuzo wodwa kuphela. Ngisho khona ukuthi uma ngugoqa ngigoqa lokho nje kuphela lo mbuzo kuphela noma khona omunye kwezathi uma ngisho ngokuhlanganisa. Futhi kanjani? Oh. Andisiqedile. Ngxoxweni esibe nazo okokuthi siqinisekisile la masethula umbiko we-IFP ukuqondisa abantu bakwaZulu Natal kanye nezwe lonke ukuthi baqonde ukuthi lenxokozelo lekhona phandle akuyona inxokozelo esisekayo kuphela uhulumeni oholwa umhlonishwa uThami Ntuli uhulumeni esiusekelayo kuningi asekwenzile kuqaliwe njengoba kade ngibala kodwa okukhulu kunakho konke ukuthi iNFP sizimisela ukuthi sixoxe nayo kunoma isiphi isigaba sayo, kodwa okukhulu ukuthi vele lapha kuhulumeni weprovince yaKwaZulu Natal sinayo iNFP sixoxa nayo, kodwa uma kukhona njengoba sibona ukuthi khona esinye isigaba okufanele singene kuso i-IFP misele futhi ke selokwathi qheke i-IFP ayikho inhlangano ethi ngeke ixoxe nayo. Ukuxoxa kuyinto eyenza ukuthi kube khona ukuphumelela ngoba omunye akwazi ukuzwa omunye ukuthi ufisani noma mhlambe ke ngeke kuthole lokho asuke kufisa, kodwa lokho kuxoxa kwenza ukuthi omunye nikwazi ukubhobokelana ukuthi omunye befisa ukuthi kodwa wehluleka ukuba azuze ukuthi khona ke lokho esikusho ukuthi sivule nje izandla empeleni. Ngisho yona iMKP le exokozelayo manje zayivuliwe izandla, kwaba nesikhathi eside kabi belindiwe empeleni kwaze wasala yena national spokesperson. Angisekho umuntu amangaka awahlala sesitheke cha bekusale yena ke mhlambe ngoba yena usemncane alinde iNFP iMKP akazi ihluphe ngokuthi inikele ukuthi ikwazi ukuthi izoxoxa neIFP. Odabeni ke lolu lomasipala njengoba futhi ngichazile ukuthi ile GPU ikwiprovince yaKwaZulu Natal, and then bese kuba khona ke le esezingeni likazwelonke. Akukho la khona kwekwaziwa khona isivumelwano somasipala, kodwa ukuthi into ukhulumile ngayo emhlanganweni akusho ukuthi kusuke kuvunyelwene ngayo. Ikhona ke lokho kwenza ukuthi uma kuphuma umhlonishwa uthi Deep Thelezi ukuba asuke eZululand azoba uMEC kwiprovince yaKwaZulu Natal, kulandwe uMkhonyovu Khumalo, uMP Khumalo ukuba abe umeya waseZululand ngoba kwakungekho sivumelwano esisemazingeni omasipala. Kodwa ngaphezulu kwakho konke lokho kukhona omasipala abaningi la khona kusetshenzwa khona ekhona uNFP, kusetshenzwa khona ekhona uFF, kodwa hayi ukuthi ungena kulesi sivumelwano esikhona njengamanje. Ilezo zinto thina esimi ngazo nokuqinisekisa abantu bakwaZulu Natal ikakhulukazi ukuthi amaphapha phansi uhulumeni uyaqhubeka uyasebenza, futhi akukho esikulindele okubi kuphela nje ukuthi fanele nabo laba beyindaba nabo phela belekelele ekuthenini la benethuba khona lokukhuluma bakwazi ukuthi abantu abaxokozela kwehlisa umsindo, ngoba uma uxokozela ayikho into ozoyizuza ngoxokozela ngaphandle ukuthi uzozuza khona uxokozela, hayi kodwa ukuthi uzozuzela abantu okuyibona abakukhethile ukuthi uze laphaya kusishayamthetho. Ngike ngakusho lokhu nakhona kusishayamthetho saKwaZulu Natal ukuthi ayikho nje into eke yasekelwa umkhonto wesizwe kwaZulu Natal legislature ngaphandle kwesalary. Mdla kukhuphuka ama-salaries unyaka odlule kwaba owelethu ngoba kwakuyimali eza emakhukhwini abo. Angithi uyabona ukuthi ke size lapha kuzosebenzela umphakathi, bona bazosebenzela izisu zabo.
For joining us today. We appreciate your continued support and we look forward to working with you on this election year. Sacela ukuthi singaphumi sakhona sokwazi ukuthi sisho amanzi.